Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's ELLIOTTWAVE Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a great week. My name is Victor Mangena, the founder of Trading Waves. Let's get right into it. If you'd like to contact us, you can do so by going into our YouTube channel. Under the description of all our videos, so our channel is Trading Waves. So under the description of our videos, you'll find our contact details as well as the links to our social media pages. So our social media pages is Facebook and Twitter. Those are the links there. You can follow us there. We also have a website where you can find more of our content. If you're a member, more about membership, you can find that information on our website. You can also follow us on TradingView for some charts analysis, as well as our Telegram channel. Right, let's get right into it, guys. As you have seen last week, we've showed you some forecast on the DXY as well as the Euro. We've shown you the forecast and how the market has played out, where we forecasted the DXY coming down here and pushing to the upside. If I can just refer you to what Sandile shared with you last week during the webinar, this is what you heard on the DXY. So the forecast was this year on the DXY. Let me just open a bigger chart so you can see clearly. So let's open the actual link. So this was the forecast on the DXY, the short-term 1 hour time frame here. As you can see, we were focusing that the DXY is going to come down here and it's going to push to the upside. This is a simple 1 hour chart in the week of the 29th of March. Okay, so how does the market played out eventually? It has done exactly what we forecasted. It has come down and it has pushed to the upside, and you will see that all the US dollar pairs have a similar structure, this corrective structure. But the only difference is the type of corrective structure. This one has got a flat, complete with a complex B correction and a move to the upside. Let's have a look at how the market has played out since the forecast. So that was the forecast before, and this is how it has played out. So this was what Sandile shared with you last week. So the market did exactly what we forecasted, comes down and starts pushing to the upside. Where are we now? We are around this area. Let's just go to the live chart now so you can see where we are. So this is where we are with the DXY on the 4 hour. Exactly as forecasted, the market has done exactly what we expected to do, and that is the power of wave theory. So this is what we had here. This is what you had. So the forecast was here. So we're looking for this one to come down and push to the upside. And you can see how many points that has already done there with this simple a complex B corrective structure here, and we're moving to the upside. Now the question is, where to next from this DXY? We are seeing some divergence, but not yet confirmed. Let's have a look here on the RSI. Let's just have a look at the RSI. You'll see that on the RSI, there is some strong divergence on the chart here. So let's have a look. Okay, so that is the corrective structure. That is the next new high there. There is a divergence on the RSI, and that's what we're looking at here. So there may be a deeper correction here, but how far will this go before we get a corrective structure? This can still push to the upside, and then we can start getting a deeper correction. So that's what we're seeing there on the DXY. So let's have a look at the Euro now. The Euro was similar, exactly the same. So let's have a look here and for a chart from last week. Let's see if I've got this one here on the Euro. Let's have a look. Let's see if I've got the Euro here. Looks like I do not have the Euro, but that's okay. We can work with what we have. So those who have been following us for a while will remember that you can refer to past videos. We'll remember that we've been forecasting a bearish move on the Euro from here, from right at the top. From right here, that's when we started focusing this bearish move. And I'll show you on the website where that comes from. So even when the market was doing this here, when the market was pushing to the upside here, we focused it from here that the market is going to go and come down. Even though the market has done this, comes down here and pushes to the upside, because we know that the structure and the cycle is bearish, we were never worried about this move, because we knew that that was only a pullback, and this has been in play for the last couple of days. So if you look at this, the DXY has made a flat with a complex B. This has made what looks like a zigzag with a complex B that is a running flat in the middle here. So a simple ABC corrective structure. So that's why the euro is still pushing to the downside. If you look at the DXY is the inverse of this, obviously, but to the upside, the DXY has already broken this level. So we expect that the euro will do the same. So we still expect this one to push a little bit lower, and for the DXY to also push, continue pushing to the upside. So that means still dollar strength in the coming week, as well as so that means we'll see all the other pairs against the US dollar bearish against the US dollar. So strength on the US dollar going into the new week still, even if it is for the short term. Right, so that is the euro. Pound US dollar. So pound US dollar has made this pullback as well. We've been looking at this pullback from around this level, has made 1, 2, 3 clear corrective structure here, pullback. We started selling there, gives another opportunity for an entry, and continues to push to the downside. Now we've got 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3. Very likely we can get a 1, 2, 3 here, and we get a corrective structure here. That will be a WXY corrective structure. That is if you get this pullback. If you don't get this pullback, that means this is all your correction, and pound is going to continue to the downside. So this will be the decider here. Okay, so a move to the upside here on pound will be a good indicator that we still have more downside there. Okay, so that is pound US dollar. Right, let's have a look at US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD, if I go to the website here, let me go to the website and have a look at US dollar CAD. If you remember 2 weeks ago, we were here on US dollar CAD right here. Go check out the video from the 29th of May. Let me just make sure here so you can refer to the correct video. So if you go to our channel, the video from the 31st, let's have a look here. Let's get all the videos on. Just want to refer you to the correct video. This video here from 3 weeks ago, let's see here what the date is, 14 to 18th March. You'll see that we've been focusing that US dollar CAD. If it's not that video, just go to the next week. From right here, the week that we were expecting this one here to start pushing up exactly here. If you remember, this was, let me just show you. This was like this. It looked impulsive coming to the downside, and we said right at that point we're expecting US dollar CAD to start pushing to the upside, Okay, so that's what we have there on US dollar CAD. We're still expecting the same. Since we are expecting the dollar strength in the coming week, we expect that this move will continue on US dollar CAD. Right, so that is US dollar CAD, and this is the video from the 27th to the 31st of March, where we were forecasting that US dollar CAD is going to come down here and push to the upside, and that is exactly what has happened with the US dollar CAD. Has come down and is pushing to the upside. We expect that move to continue on US dollar CAD. Right, US dollar CHF. Now US dollar CHF, we were expecting it to only just make 1, 2, 3 and push up from here, but eventually this has actually made a deeper corrective structure here as follows. Then we are still expecting that the US dollar CHF will continue to push to the upside in this week. All right, so that's what we have. Dollar strength across. AUD US dollar. So AUD US dollar, we have been bearish for some time, and we have seen AUD rally in the last couple of days, weeks, but all that it has been doing has been simply this structure. Okay, so we simply made 1, 2, 3. So that's why we expect that AUD US dollar will start pushing to the downside after making that corrective structure there. Okay, so it's a simple structure. As you can see there, you've got here in the middle 1, 2, 3. Here you've got, I'm going to use a different color here so you can see why I'm saying that is a double combination here. That's a double correction. 1, 2, 3 there. Then you've got here 1, 2, 3. Textbooks textbook WXY corrective structure there. So you can see 1, 2, 3 there, 1, 2, 3, bigger one. That is a X. Let's use this degree here. So we're using yellow here. That is W, that is X, and that is Y. So this is Y. Excuse me, I'm running out of screen here. I'm out of space. That's fine. So here you've got here a WXY corrective structure here in the lower degree. You've got here an ABC corrective structure here in the lower degree. Now the expectation is that this will continue to push to the downside. Okay, so that is AUD US dollar. Now looking at the next one, it's going to be New Zealand US dollar. It's exactly the same structure. We have been bearish in New Zealand US dollar as well, but as you can see, we have got exactly the same structure here in AWXY corrective structure, and in the lower degree, we've got similar complex B correction here in the lower degree, 1, 2, 3. I need to draw it cleanly. 1, 2, 3, complex B, 1, 2, 3 there, and that means we've got this bigger corrective structure here in WXY corrective structure, blue box area here, and we're now looking downside. Any pullback will be an opportunity to sell it to the downside. Don't come and sell it at this level. It has already moved to the downside. At least pull back to about 38 to or the 50-61%. Then you can start looking for sells again on the New Zealand, same as the Audi. Right, US dollar ZAR. So US dollar ZAR is showing us a move to the downside, but I think we're going to have here a move to the upside first, since the US dollar is going to be strong in the week. So we're going to have something like this, we're going to have something like this, we're going to have something like this. So that will be a WXY corrective structure. Now we would expect that because this has made a 1, 2, 3 here. Let's do it cleanly. 1, 2, 3 there, 1, 2, 3 there, 1, 2, 3 there. Okay, so let me do this again. So there's 3 waves here. If you can look at this, 1, 2, 3. So that's already a correction for that 1, 2, 3. So you expect 1, 2, 3 here. If that means that will complete the yellow degree here, we'll then look for this one to continue to the downside on US dollar ZAR, simply because we're expecting the dollar to the dollar strength in this week. All right, so let's have a look at the yen pairs now. So the yen pairs have been looking upside, but for the last couple of days, they've just been in a corrective structure. Let me show the bigger one structure here on pound yen on the 4-hour. So you'll see that most of them are looking upside, and we are correcting for more upside. So this is a pound yen. We're still expecting this one to continue pushing to the upside here, but this will be a corrective structure here before we make a move to the upside. So let's focus here and see how this is playing out. And you'll see that all of them are currently in that state, the corrective structure there. So this move here to the downside does not mean that this is a reversal. This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Expect this to take the top here, comes back here and continue to the upside. We are still bullish on pound yen, and this will be a possibly ABC structure or a WXY structure, depending on how on the makeup of the structure. ABC, and then we look for this one to continue pushing to the upside. All right, so that is pound yen. US dollar yen, exactly the same. We're expecting this one. It has pulled back. We are bullish. Remember, we're bullish on US dollar yen. We've got 1, 2, 3 there, 1, 2, 3 there. It has not really taken the top, doesn't really matter. We can start making a move to the downside, take the low here, and continue to the upside. We are still bullish, just looking for this one to be a corrective structure before continuing with a bullish move to the upside. Euro as well, you can see that we've got 3 waves down here. You've got this running flat here. So with the euro, you can have this one coming down here and making a move to the upside, making this WXY corrective structure here. So it would not be surprising to see this one come down in the week before pushing to the upsides. So we'll be waiting for an opportunity to buy these pullbacks on the yen pairs. Right, that's euro, chief yen. Again, the same. You can see they're all doing the same. 1, 2, 3 there, 1, 2, 3 there. Takes the top. This one may even take again, and then we can get this one coming down here in 3 and then move to the upside. If they all break the top here without pulling back, that means that we may not have these pullbacks and this can just be bullish, but we'll get an indication as the market goes on the yen pairs. AUD yen, same. So AUD yen looks like we may get one more down here and then we push to the upside. So the structure is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we've got this structure and we've got our simple corrective structure in WXY, WXY, and then we're looking for upside. So expect this one to come down and push to the upside. Okay, so that is AUD yen, New Zealand yen. Looking at the New Zealand, we've got 3 waves down, we've got 3 waves up. We're looking for this one to make another 3 waves to the downside before pushing to the upside. We may even have a blue box here before resumption of the move to the upside on New Zealand yen. All right, then lastly on the yen pairs is CAD yen. Right, CAD yen, same. 3 waves down, 3 waves up. We could see this one come down here and make a push to the upside, but this one has got an alternative in that this can do this, take the top, comes back down before pushing to the upside. So this one, let's see which one plays out first. But in any case, we're not interested in these short moves. We're interested in getting this bigger move here. All right, so when the corrective structure is done across all the yen pairs. Gold, right, so gold is still in a corrective structure. We are bearish gold. With the yen pairs looking bullish, you expect gold to be bearish. So in this case here on the 4 hour, we've got 1, 2, 3, and we've got what looks to be building up a corrective structure here. We've got 1, we've got this, and we've got this here. We'll expect gold to do this. Okay, so that'll be the structure that we're looking at for now. As far as gold is concerned, we've got a corrective structure there. We'll be looking for this pullback. After this, we'll expect gold to then resume its move to the downside. So if the yen pairs continue to push to the downside for a pullback, we'll see gold do this. And then when they resume their move to the upside, then we'll see gold do this. And then we'll be seeing this deeper WXY corrective structure. Now, if you look at this corrective structure, this would be what we have here. And then we'll look for this one to continue pushing to the upside. This is actually a Y and not an X. Then we'll expect gold to then resume a move to the upside. Simple and straightforward. Right, silver. Looking at silver, it's just like gold. It has made a 3-way move to the downside, 1, 2, 3. Now we're making this pullback here in 3. We're expecting silver in this coming week to at least give us a move like this, even if that move can come back to the 60% of this whole move. So that's the expectation on silver. We're expecting it to break out of this structure, give us a move at least back to around this level, after which we'll expect silver to resume this move here, which will be a WXY corrective structure here. Right, so that is silver. Looking at more, let's look at more charts. Platinum has been straightforward for the last couple of weeks. Let's have a look here. If I have to show you the daily and why we are bearish platinum for some time, is because of this structure here. So we had this move here, 1, 2, 3 on platinum. We had this pullback, which we forecasted a couple of weeks back, and now platinum is currently in this move. Any pullback will just be doing this, and you'll also have a WXY corrective structure here. This is a daily structure, so this may take some time. So you want to sell platinum when it gives you a pullback, and this pullback must be at least at about 50 to 61% of this move before you can start selling it again. Right, so that is platinum. Let's have a look now at oil. Oil is pretty interesting. Let's have a look. Where is oil? Lost my... There's platinum. Yeah, there's oil. Brent crude oil. Let's have a look at Brent crude oil. I'm going to look at it on the 4 hour. Okay, let's look at it on the daily first. We've been expecting Brent crude oil to give us this corrective structure. So what is this corrective structure and how is it building up? Let's have a look at it in the lower degree to see clearly how it is playing out. So if I go to the 4 hour on oil, the 4 hour on oil, you can see that we started with the 3 waves down here. And what is happening here on oil is that we've got a pulsing move. We've got what looks like a corrective structure here in 3. So oil can come and take the low here, come back up here. We can have then this structure. But remember, this is all just speculation at this time. We're looking at the cycle to play it like that. There are a number of ways that this can play out. Instead of this, oil can just continue to push to the downside so just make a note of this structure, WXY first, and then I'm going to give you the second alternative. You can take a screenshot of this, and I'm going to clear this. And the next alternative is that oil does this 1, 2, 3 up here. You've got this one here. So also this one coming down here is 1, 2, and oil just comes down here as this, and then that becomes just a WXY corrective structure before the pullback without giving us a complex correction there. But we'll be monitoring that to see which one plays out on oil. Right, all structures very interesting so far. Pound AUD straightforward, still looking for this to continue pushing to the downside. Even though we've got a pullback now, we're simply expecting pound AUD to give us this pullback and then continuation to the downside. Since here we have been expecting that pound AUD will give us a move to the downside, we expect another pullback. We still sell it when it does that. So that is pound AUD. Pound New Zealand the same. Nothing new on pound New Zealand. You can see we have been selling even from here. As soon as it gives us these corrective structures, we look to sell. So here we've got a pulsing move. This can push up a little bit higher to around these levels, but this is still long-term bearish. Whenever this structure completes, then you look for sell setups. At this stage, still just pulling back, no sell setups. Pound CAD continues to push to the downside with this simple corrective structure here, looking for more downside. Okay, so pound CAD, I think Sandile has shared with you how we've been focusing this one over the last couple of weeks. Let's just have a look at what it looked like last week on pound CAD. Now, pound CAD, we are bearish because of this. Let's have a look here. I'm looking for pound CAD. Let me find it. Pound CAD, we are bearish because of this. Look at the forecast here on pound CAD. If you look at the pound CAD forecast, we have been looking for this one to continue dropping to around 62 level. Okay, that is 62 level. How has the market played out since then? So it has then played out as follows, exactly as forecasted. We've got that drop to around 62 level. Now we're expecting a bit of a bounce. Are we going to get that bounce as yet? Let's have a look now on pound CAD. So we're still at 62. We may start getting that bounce. The market can start slowing down here. We're still bearish for now. We can get to 62. We're not really there yet. And then we start seeing a move to the upside. So let's monitor that. The forecast has been spot on so far. Pound CHF, we've been bearish for some time here. If I just go to the latest structure here, you're expecting pound CHF to be bearish going into the new week as well. With this simple corrective structure, expect this one to do this, but be careful. It is not always that straightforward. You can find that it does this one here, does this one here, and you get this corrective structure before continuation to the downside. So be careful of that. So pound CHF, just to remind you why we are bearish on pound CHF, we have to go to the daily chart so you can see why. So a bigger picture on that is because we have seen that this is the structure that we've got. We've got a pulsing move there. We've got this as a corrective structure. We've got a pulsing move there. We've got a pullback here, which we're looking at as a three-wave corrective structure. So this is a three-wave corrective structure here. 1, 2, 3. Now we're looking for this one to do the same. We can even get this one pulling back here and does that. Or even we can get this one. There's a number of alternatives. This one can start pulling back to the upside here, giving us this structure. And then we get this one continue to the downside, giving us this as a WXY corrective structure. Simple and straightforward. The market is very clear. Let's watch and see what happens when it's set up. We will know what to do and when to pull the trigger. Right, so now Euro pound straightforward has made a three-wave pullback. I'm on the daily here, 1, 2, 3. We're coming down here. Any pullback here, you're looking for this one to continue to the downside. Let's have a look here on the 4-hour where it's a lot clearer or more detailed. So we can see with the structure here, you will want to see a corrective structure. This corrective structure may be a little bit deeper, could do something like that before we drop. But essentially, what we're looking for is for the continuation to the downside. All the euros are still bearish. Let's go to the euros. All the euros are still bearish. So we've got this pullback. We've got this one having made a three-wave structure. Are we going to get a move back to around these levels? There is a possibility that we get a running flat or an expanding flat. So this coming back around here is a running flat. Breaking the top and continuing to the downside is an expanding flat. So we'll be monitoring the euro pair. So that is euro AUD. We're looking at that. And then euro New Zealand is similar. also making what looks like a three-wave structure and has started already. As you can see here, we've got one, we've got three down, and then we may get an impulse. This one can give us a regular flat before we continue to the downside. So let's watch the euro pairs for these pullbacks. Then we'll continue, or we ride it with the trends. Then we've got here euro CAD. Euro CAD, will it give us that pullback that we're getting from the other euro pairs? 1, 2, 3 here around this level will give us a running flat if we get to that place, and then we look for that to continue to the downside. And this is euro CHF now. Euro CHF is already bearish. Expect euro CHF to continue lower and come and take this low. All right, so that is euro CHF. Bearish, all of you know how bearish we've been on the CHF. All the pairs that have got the CHF, most of the pairs that have got the CHF as the quoted currency, we have been bearish those pairs over the last couple of months. And euro CHF, pound CHF, one of those pairs that we have been looking at like that. AUD New Zealand, nothing new. Remember how we forecasted the continuation pattern here, and for this to continue to the upside. Initially, what we looked at on this Euro New Zealand, you can go back to our videos around November, December last year. We were looking for this to do that, and we forecasted the move to the upside to around this area. When it made this corrective structure here, we again said this is going to continue to the upside. This could have made a three-wave structure and drop here. Okay, so we waited, we got our money here. We waited for this one to confirm move and move to the downside, but it didn't. It actually just made a three-wave structure. When it did that, we got a blue box set up here for a continuation to the upside, and we are still bullish now on AUD New Zealand. AUD CAD, right, AUD CAD, simple. What you're going to see here, you've got a move up here. You've got this move here. That's a move up here. We've got three down, we've got three up. We can get this one coming down here in a running flat or an expanding flat, and we get something like that. So for now, still bearish. Okay, confirming break below here with the indicator. We'll confirm if that is the case, and then we'll sell and then upside. Okay, so that is AUD CAD, AUD CHF. All right, AUD CHF, same. We're getting a pullback here. Just expect this. Now, after making this simple three-wave structure, we're expecting this one to start pushing to the downside. But at first, you need to get a corrective structure there. New Zealand CAD. So New Zealand CAD is currently busy making this structure. We've got an impulse here. We've got 1, 2. It's busy making this structure here. We can get a bounce here, giving us a complex structure. We're watching that. Then we'll look for this one to give us a complete structure like that. As it is now, it is not so clear. New Zealand CHF, the same, still bearish. Remember, all the pairs with the CHF in them are bearish. So every time you see this impulsive moves, expect the market to resume lower again. Here, there's no trade setup. So watch out for this one to give you a clear trade setup to sell it to the downside. Right, so that is New Zealand CHF, and then lastly on the Forex pairs, CAD CHF. So CAD CHF, you can see we're currently in this corrective structure, so we can come back down here, come back down, up here, and make a structure like this. So that would be a complete corrective structure, similar to the DXY structure. If you remember the DXY structure that we discussed in the beginning of the video, it could make exactly the same thing. So let's see if it comes back, bounces, comes back, completes the structure. We get an ABC complex correction here, and then we look for upside. All right, so that's all on the Forex pairs. Now let's have a look at the indices. Now the indices, remember what we've been saying. We were waiting for this to confirm for us. Is this going to be all the correction? Is this now ready for a move to the upside? So let's have a look here. So we've got the three-wave move here. This one has made 1, 2. Let's use yellow. Has made 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We could have this one doing this 1, 2, 3 here, giving us a WXY corrective structure. Okay, then we'll see a resumption of the move to the upside. So let's watch out for this for now, because there's also a possibility that this is starting a move to the upside in 3 waves. Okay, if it's starting a move to the upside in 3 waves, we get a pullback. This is gone. All right, so this is gone. So let's watch out for the 2 options. So if you've got a strategy to help you confirm, you use that, and we use the indicator to confirm which move is going to be. As much as we've got two alternatives, we are able to determine which move is going to be. Right, in this case, let's have a look at the Dow Jones Industrial. The Dow Jones Industrial is more telling. As much as we've got the three waves down here, it looks like we're starting with a move to the upside with 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Looks like it's ready for a move to the upside, but then it can just get to this level. We start getting a pullback before a move to the upside. Okay, so we are at the deciding point, critical area on the indices, all doing the same thing. Look at the Dow Jones transportation. So transportation is already looking downside. It's not going up. So that's why there's a likelihood that these can just start continuing to the downside. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 there. We've got a 1, 2, 3 there. And we've got this here, which could do a 1, 2, 3, and we see more downside. It's going to be interesting in the next coming week how these play out. The Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq has been a lot clearer. It went deeper than the rest with a 5-wave move and has made a 3-wave corrective structure. Would expect the Nasdaq to have another 5-wave move before another resumption to the move to the upside. So that will be an ABC corrective structure on the Nasdaq, and this will be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a 5. I'm going to put 5 there just to avoid cluttering the chart, and we would expect the same here on the C. It looks like that is already what is starting there on the C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. Right. Those are the indices, and the UK 100. UK 100, since breaking out of that diagonal, here it has now resumed the move to the upside, and that move is still valid, has broken out of the diagonal, came down in 3, corrective structure. We are now here at the previous high. Any pullback, we expect UK 100 to continue pushing to the upside. The DAX, I'm expecting the DAX to at least give us a corrective structure here to the upside, even if it's a move to the upside, a push to the upside. Let me look at this one here. This is the index here. So they're all the same. They're all the same. The Nikkei. So the Nikkei, we've got 1, 2. We're expecting this one to have completed here. What happens here now with the Nikkei with the pullback is going to push to the upside, or are we going to get this one to be a corrective structure? And then we'll see this one continuing to push to the upside, giving this one, confirming that this one is a corrective structure as we have been looking at it for a while. So let's watch the current structure there on the Nikkei. Right, and lastly, the Nifty. The Nifty is a lot clearer than the rest. The Nifty is ready for all-time highs again. We've got the 3-wave pullback here on the Nifty. Let's have a look here on the Nifty. So that's an ABC corrective structure. ABC, we're looking for the Nifty to continue to break to the top. Pullback, any pullback on the Nifty resumes to the upside. We'll just be looking for upside. All right, so that's all I have for you guys on this week. If you like our content, like our video, subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Hit that bell notification button so you can get an alert the next time we upload a video. Have a great week, everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye.